Let's see. Okay, it says I'm live. It says I'm live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everyone. If you all can hear me, let me do something. Where is that? If you all can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. If you all can hear me, if you all can see me, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. I'm just getting everything ready for us to begin today. We have some exciting stuff that we want to talk about. Exciting topic of physical pen testing or physical penetration testing. Is this saying that I'm live? Okay. Let's see. Who is here? Wait. Yo, chill. Lowcast. Welcome, Lowcast. Welcome, Lowcast. Thank you for coming through. Thank you. You being here. Appreciate you being here for sure. Deacon Dave, thanks for coming through. Thank you. Clap it up for everybody in the chat. Wire Dog, as always, thank you for coming. Oh, the audio wasn't playing, but thank you for coming. They're clapping. Let's go to one where it's actually clapping. Thank you for coming through. Thanks for coming through. Darius Davis, thank you for coming through. Here, I'm just gonna keep on clicking. Deacon Dave, you using a laptop mic? No. Does it sound like I'm using a laptop mic? Uh-oh. One second. Audio. There we go. Hold up.
How about now, Deacon Dave? How does this sound? Because I didn't have my actual mic going. How about now? How does my audio sound now? How do I sound now? The audio, is it still messed up? Tell me what's up. Tell me what you all are thinking. Let me know. Does it sound better? Much better. Wire Dog said it is good now. You said much better. Okay. Brother Michael, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Welcome through, everybody. Happy for you all being here. And on that note, I think that we got plenty of people in here to go ahead and start. So let me go ahead and play the intro video, and then we'll get into the subject today. Let's go ahead and get it. Well, thank you all for coming through to today's show of Struggle Security. My name is Gabriel Agbarucci. I'm a cybersecurity consulting manager. This is Struggle Security, but we are normalizing struggling in cybersecurity. And that whole normalizing struggling means that it's okay to struggle. It's okay to not always have the answers. It's okay to struggle to the top. And today we like to dispel struggles within cybersecurity, dispel misconceptions of topics and concepts. And today we're going to be talking about physical security pen testing. Have you all ever heard of physical security pen testing or physical security testing? Let me know if any of you have heard of that. And what type of ideas come in your mind when you think about physical pen test? What type of ideas come to mind? Let me know. Let me know what you all are thinking. Princessa, welcome to the chat. We're talking about physical security pen testing and what people know and what people think. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Lock picking. Okay, you on to something, Wire Dog. Lock picking is one. If you all have ever been to like a Black Hat conference, or if you all have ever been to DEF CON, they do all types of like cyber physical systems or physical security pen testing. And I think one of the most popular ones is lock picking. Actually, I think I had commented on somebody's Twitter. Let me see if I can find that. I think I commented on somebody's Twitter some years ago where it was some young ladies. Let me find lock picking. think they were at DEF CON. Let's see if I could find that. Lock picking at DEF CON. Well, they actually have like lock picking challenges. It's pretty dope. Let me see. Oh man, I don't even think I can find it. I don't even think I can find it. It was a really good I might be able to find it. Hold up 1 second. I'm gonna go to tweets and replies. I'm on Twitter right now. I'm just zooming through really quickly. I should be able to find it because I don't really be on Twitter like that a whole lot. I'm gonna get to the comment section in just a couple of seconds. I'm looking for it because it's a really cool little video that you all might be able to glean something from. Where is that? There was some young ladies who's getting busy with the lock picking. It's pretty dope. I'm gonna have to find that. I'm gonna have to find that because it was a minute ago. I was in Spaces. What is Spaces? Twitter Space. I don't even do that anymore. I was going back. I was going back on what I used to do. Anyway, I don't think I can find it, y'all. I don't think I'm gonna find that for you, y'all. My apologies. Crap. I know that. I know it was crap. Can't find it. I'll have that for you all next time. Let's get to more of your comments. Professor says secret agent type for Pentesting. We're going to talk about that too, because there are all types of like hacking tools and things. Like I know that like a lot of people have been talking about this little thing a lot. This Flipper Zero, which is like a little hacking tool. I did a live stream where I was kind of going over this, but it's even more hacking tools out there for people to use in order to bypass security controls, bypass physical security controls. And I think that that's where physical security becomes so interesting, because many times people think of cybersecurity and they only think of like cloud computing, penetration testing from like a computer perspective, like ethical hacking with Kali Linux. They might think of incident response stuff. They might think of reverse engineering, different things, but many people don't ever think about physical security pen testing or physical security controls and where that intersects with cybersecurity. Wire Dog said door bypass. Yep, door access bypass. Brother Michael said B&E. He says breaking and entering. Actually, that is physical security. That is physical security. You bypass in order to get further. You bypass physical security, bypass physical security, and yeah, you might get a B&E on your record. You might get a B&E on your record, right? It was funny because I was some years ago I was talking to my little nephew about this, and I was asking about physical security, and this is kind of what he was explaining to me in so many words from what I remember. He was kind of explaining to me stuff like this, right? People just using tools and things in order to blow up and mess up computers, like getting the blicky and shooting up the computer and everything. This was kind of the idea that he was kind of having. Here, let me show you him a couple more times. Just beating up computers and shooting computers and everything. So, it's just that's kind of what he was thinking of as it concerns physical security. But Wired Dog says finding blind spots, social engineering, pretending to be an employer or vendor, tailgating and piggybacking. Absolutely. Many times that physical security component comes in the form of social engineers, right? Social engineering, where you can maybe, I don't know, go outside of an organization, outside of a data center where they have their smoke breaks, or where people go out there to, I don't know, refill water bottles, or are walking around the building to get their steps in for the day. And you might be having a conversation with them and tailgating, right? Walking behind them and say, hey, can you hold the door for me or something, right? Can you hold the door for me? And then you might be able to get into a restricted area that you don't even have a badge for by just having a relationship. That would be an example of bypassing security controls, physical security controls. And physical pen testers do things like this. So that's absolutely right. Princessa said, yes, people don't consider physical security at all. Right? Why do I need to hack into something remotely? Why do I need to hack into your Wi-Fi in order to get into your systems if I can just walk through the front door? Walk through the front door when the security guards are on break, or walk through the front door and there might be like those fake cameras or something, right? Free Zone Lou, you're welcome, Free Zone Lou. Thank you for coming through. Thank you definitely for coming through. You get this. You get one of these. Clap it up, clap it up. Thanks for coming through for sure. And you said that you are listening in the clouds and you cook it. Thank you. Definitely appreciate it, man. Listen, I'm trying to cook. I'm trying to put something in a pot, right? Have us had these discussions about these topics in cybersecurity that we don't always talk about. So, just trying to inform the people, man. But thank you for coming through. Definitely appreciate it. Absolutely. Wire Dog say I saw an article about those pen testers from Coldfire that were arrested a while back. Feel free to drop that article in the chat if you want. Feel free to drop that article in the chat. Maybe we can go over it if you can find it. You said the charges ended up being dismissed. That's one thing about pen testing, whether you're doing ethical hacking or whether you're doing some physical security stuff, you need permission and you need evidences of what that permission is, just in case somebody might call the cops, right? So that's something that's very important. When nurse shift change security, yeah, right? I mean, say, for instance, somebody was trying to take somebody out, right? Some type of hitman or something. And that person might end up in a hospital when the nurses change shifts or when the cameras are off or when the CNAs are doing something and they're not really watching the patient, they can violate. I mean, that's pretty dark, but that could be an example. We're trying to go with your example here with the nurses changing shifts. But yeah, it's hard out here. It's hard out here for physical security because people a lot of times don't take that into account. Make sure to have a you need a get out of jail free card. You need something signed, something that shows permission from that organization that you are given permission to do this or that and bypass this security measure. Yeah, it's very important. Having even a contact number for people to call to verify. Many times information in computers aren't monitored at that time. I want to show you a couple of examples. Because I've done several physical security pen tests, right? And it was interesting. And I want to show y'all pictures. Let's have a show and tell. Y'all want to do a show and tell? Okay, let's start with my first thing I want to show you all. Okay, and then Wire Dog, we're going to pull this up in a second. And we're going to go through this link here. So I was doing a physical pen test on an oil and gas environment. Oil and gas station. Like, how there's like gas stations for your vehicles. There's like places that store and transport oil and gas for large refineries and different types of organizations to get gas and fuel from one place to another place. So I was doing a physical pen test on this environment. And here, let me show you all my screen. Let me show you my screen. Can you all see that? I don't want to zoom in so far yet. But one thing that I was doing when I was doing this physical pen test is that I was kind of walking the perimeter of the area. I was walking the perimeter and I was looking for places and environments that might show some type of capability for people to be able to just get in very easily, right? So because all of their critical systems are behind this gate, and this gate goes around the entirety of the perimeter of their critical systems. I don't want to say exactly what everything is because I don't want to give anything away. But as you see here, so this is a very small excerpt from the report that I wrote, because another thing that I do is I take pictures. I'll always take pictures if I'm doing any type of pen test or physical pen test, screenshots and pictures, or it didn't happen. As you see here, I have a couple of items highlighted, right? So when I was going around the gated area, most of it was pretty good, right? Most of it was pretty covered. But I noticed that there's a crash bar here. This is a crash bar where, for those who know what crash bars are, all you have to do is push that in and then you're in, right? Here are some areas, some gaps. There are some gaps here where I think I could even, when I did my test, I could even fit my hand into here, like my whole arm. I'm not a very like small guy. Like, I got I got muscles. I got them, hold on, let me do the right thing here. I got the muscles and everything. So for me to be able to put my arm into that socket or that little slit and be able to hit that crash bar, that says a lot, right? That says a lot. That means that might be a violation of their physical security measures there. It might be a violation there. I want you all to see it full the full screen. Let me see if I can go to the next picture. Does that? No, it doesn't. Does it switch pictures? No, it does not switch pictures. I have to share and then reshare. You said they made it easy. No, I wouldn't say that it's easy. I would say that you really need to pay attention, right? Because there's individuals who would be able to get into those environments who might have malicious intent in mind. And that's another thing, right? Because when you're thinking about who the adversaries are for this, for many oil and gas organizations, they have things like adversaries like protesters. They have people who don't believe that oil and gas plants need to be operating within their realm. They might feel like, hey, this is destroying our community. This is destroying our environment. So some of them might get in there or try to get into certain areas and destroy critical systems. They might get into like an oil and gas plant with the blinking and just start shooting up computers. Or they might just, find a hammer or something and just go kind of crazy on some things because they have the belief that, hey, this is messing up our environment. So it's so interesting because they even have different adversaries within the realm of physical security. Sometimes you might have protesters, humanitarians, these individuals. And this is one example that I showed them of something that you can do if you had made it, if that was one of the crash bars there. This is not what I want to share. Let me stop sharing that and let me share this. Present, share. I'm going to share. Oh, okay. The window. Okay. Let me know if you all are seeing this. I think you all should be able to see this. Oh yeah. Copper thieves are very, common within Detroit, Michigan, where I'm born and raised and grew up. And here, it was interesting because I saw some other things too as I was walking the perimeter. Is that they had these things. These are called crash bar guards. But it's interesting. So as you see, it's so that's my hand, and that's a belt. That's my hand, and that's a belt that I had. That's my belt that I just took off, and I was showing them an example of where I could just take my belt and string it through one of these loops here. I could string it through one of the loops at the bottom, and then I could use that in order to just open up the crash bar. Because it's interesting because as you see here, I don't know if you all can see it the best, but even though there's a crash bar guard at the top, I was still able to show them from an example of that I can use my belt in order to just get in here. I could just take it and loop it around and then just pull, and then that gives me access to that environment. And that was the only thing between the wilderness outside and inside of that area, that oil and gas station, where there were many critical systems. I mean, not too far away, there was like satellites and all types of other critical infrastructure that could really shut down the plant. There are other people here too. Hey, what's up? Welcome. Welcome, Professor Black Ops. You said domestic terrorists are shooting up electrical substations. They sure are. Terrorist organizations, individuals that are protesters. But yeah, I just want to say hello and welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Who else did just come up here? Oh, Princess is speaking. She says, I'm ex-military and I work with encrypted information. If my office went down, a lot of people were in danger. Physical security is something I was very keen on. Absolutely. Physical security is extremely important, especially for government facilities, federal government environments. There are even areas within defense contracting or defense organizations. I think it's called a SCIV or something. Professor Black Ops or Princessa, maybe you all can talk more about that. Tell me what a SCIV is. Tell me the definition of a SCIV, and I'll just read it out here. But what I understand, it has very strong physical security measures. But tell me about it whenever you guys get a chance. But yeah, so this here is something that I was able to show to them. And this is, I took a picture of this. I said, hey, take a picture of my hand with this belt in it to show like, hey, I am able to get into the gated area with just a belt, right? But not only just a belt, but you can use other infrastructure as well, or other devices as well that are sold. So we're talking about like these different hacking tools, right? You can buy things online that, and I'm gonna show you one. This is actually what you call like a crash bar tool. Let me show you all of this. Let me show you all this 1 second while I get all my other screens up. Let's see if I had the right screen here. Am I 1 second? 1 second. I'm trying to get to the right screen. Oh, I think I minimized it. Why did I minimize that screen? 1 second. Is it the YouTube one? No. Listen, I got so many different. Oh, I think it's this one. Yeah, I got so many different screens up. It's wild. Okay, this is one that I want to show you here. Oh, welcome, Dollar Washer. Welcome to the chat, man. Welcome to the chat, man. Whenever somebody come in, we just get a little. Thank you for coming through. Let me show this. Let me show this here. So you know how I showed that I had like the belt that you're able to use, but they even sell other tools that are relatively inexpensive, that are super duper inexpensive. And this is called I think this is they call it a DDT, but this is like a crash bar opener, right? So one thing that you would do with this is that you would take this device, you would probably string it through one of those holes or string it through one of those slits that I was showing you in the gate, and that this tipped area or any of this little area here would be able to pull back on that crash bar and be able to open the door. They make so many different tools. This one is what, $16? You can buy this today. You can buy this today. You can use PayPal, right? So there are many different tools that are used in these physical security assessments. That's really what I have to bring out to you all. Let me show you. I think one more. Let's see. Do I have another picture? Yes. Let me show you this. Let me show you all this. Okay. Welcome, JM. Do you own any of the external antennas for Wi-Fi hacking? I know I got them around here somewhere. I just moved not too long ago, so these are definitely. I don't even know what I did with all my Wi-Fi hacking stuff. It is in a bag somewhere. Absolutely. So probably one day we'll probably go through some of that stuff that I have because we just buy it. I know I got some in. Oh, it's somewhere. It's somewhere back there. Oh, you mean a skiff? Yeah, skiff. Listen, I haven't worked in those environments. Tell me what it is. If anybody knows what it is, because I'm sure that they have very strong physical security measures. I want to show you one more thing that I found while I was doing this, or another thing that I found during this physical security test. I would like to show you this. What's this? Tell me what this is. Tell me what these are. Tell me what these are. Tell me somebody. Tell me what these are. Tell me what these is. Tell me what you all think these are. These are, I'm not seeing it in the chat. I'm about to say it. What are these? Princessa says Sky-Fi. It was autocorrect. Yes, skiff. White Dog said I worked in comm, so we had that for radio encryption stuff. Okay, cool. Well, I'm thinking skiff is like, I thought it was like a data center for like federal government or defense environments. And one thing that they did was that you can only go in and out like one time a day or something weird like that. If anybody knows any more information about those environments, let me know. Yes, JM, definitely. RJ45 Jacks, RJ45. These are Ethernet ports, right? That are just wide open. These are Ethernet ports within these plant environments that are just wide open for anybody to come in and plug into. And I think one thing that I want to highlight here about these type of environments is that these environments are one group of individuals that come into these environments, these industrial environments, very often are contractors and vendors, where people are servicing your equipment, servicing your generators and your satellites and all this different equipment that's in your plant environment. One thing about that is that when you have open ports, especially Ethernet jack ports, that means if anybody has access into this environment where vendors and contractors do, people who don't work there full time, they are able to just plug in and have direct access into your internal network. They have access into the internals of your corporate network. So, this is something else that a lot of times when I'm doing physical security assessments, I'm taking a very good look at what's happening here. I'm taking a very good look to see if there are RJ45 outlets, RJ45 ports I'm taking a look at those environments to try to see if, hey, if anybody can come in here and plug in, then we're gonna see what's happening, right? Sometimes I'll even bring in my own RJ45 cable, right? And I'll come in and plug into it, plug my laptop into it and see if I'm getting the internet or if I'm blocked out or something. So, it's very interesting, very interesting. Yeah, you said that you're mistaken. Okay. Now the Cisco switches will allow connection if it's not recognized. Yeah. Port security, right? So Cisco devices and port security. You would think that many organizations will use those technologies, or even NAC, right? Network access control tools. NAC tools are very expensive. NAC is very expensive. I think Cisco ICE has NAC, and there's a lot of other NAC vendors and tools that would put you into a segregated network where you don't have access to all the internal corporate resources. There are ways to bypass NAC too, which is very interesting too, or bypass the Cisco switch port security. But in many environments I've been in, it has not been enabled, especially when you're talking about the internals of critical systems and industrial environments. So, but that is a good point, right? That's something that would protect against anybody just coming in and plugging into those environments. Another thing that I recognize, or that I instead of using NAC at times, if they don't have the budget, if they don't have the capability to configure correctly port security on their Cisco devices, Cisco networks and routers, switches and routers, one thing I recommend is like physical port blockers. So you can buy these little physical port blockers where you just throw that into the RJ45 and it comes with like a little lock. And you can turn those keys over to like your physical security department. And that if anybody needs access into the internal network, if they're a vendor, they're a contractor, then they need to have that lock, or you can go and unlock that for them. So you can have positive control over that environment, right? Wire Dog said a secure room. Yes, it can be a secure room or data center that guards against electronic surveillance and suppresses data leakage or sensitive military and security information. Yeah, that's that SCIF or SCIF or whatever they call it. Yeah, so there's a lot of physical security measures there. Enough of me talking. I do want to share with you some things that people do. So I want to share with you all a little video here of what people do when they are doing physical pen tests. And a lot of it is just B&Es, right? A lot of it is just breaking and enterings. But we're gonna take a look at this. I'm gonna share my screen here. Let me maximize this. I was already taking a look at this. Pull this over here. Oh, let's see. Am I sharing the correct thing? Oh, okay. I maximize on this side, so I gotta minimize. Minimize some stuff. One second, you all. I'm getting my bearings. I'm gonna put this over here. Maximize this, and I'm going to talk to you all. Okay, I think we are good. Let's take a look at this, and this is going over a lot of the physical security measures or physical security bypasses that a lot of physical security pen testers do. You said my church does. You said your church does use port security. Our IT person works for well, there we go. For NAC and port security, that is. Okay, that makes sense. You're absolutely correct. I work for an organization that didn't have NAC implemented on the floor. The pen testers were able to find a live port to break our network. Let me tell you something about that, Wire Dog, because there's almost always a way to bypass NAC. Sometimes you might buy. So one thing that I had done, I was doing a pen test for like a very large utility organization in New York City. I'll just say that. And one thing that we did is that we went right there into their corporate environment and in their corporate network, and they just gave us free reign and free access, right? So we could just walk around, we could talk to people, we could do whatever we wanted to do. Let me tell you what we did. We went right to an open desk, somebody's open desk, there's open office, and we unplugged their IP connected or their network connected phone. So it was like a Cisco phone, right? So these are the phones that are connected into the network. You unplug that from the RJ45 port, and you plug your machine right in. Many times, if it's not like MAC address, when it's not trying to recognize like MAC addresses as devices. Oh no, I'm sorry. Let me say this. One thing that we did do is that we would clone our MAC address to the MAC address of the printer, and then we would plug into that same not printer. Dang, I'm getting it wrong because you can use printers too. We would clone our MAC address to the same MAC address of that IP phone. Then we would plug our computers into whatever those RJ45 ports were. So then there we're positively like we are masquerading as IP phone within that network, and the network doesn't know, right? So that's one way to bypass NAC within a lot of environments, especially corporate environments. Cisco ICE is their NAC, I believe. I think Cisco ICE is their NAC, but it also does more. It does more too. Yeah, it definitely does more. I don't know all of the features offhand, but yeah, it definitely does NAC as one of its capabilities. What is your opinion on those electronic door knobs that you can use from the home? Electronic door. I think they're cool. They could be bypassed. I think any type of technology, all of this IoT stuff, right? This Internet of Things, you giving IP addresses to door locks and refrigerators and everything. I mean, they can be bypassed. They can be bypassed in any way. So hopefully you don't live in an environment or you don't live in a neighborhood of hackers. Hopefully, right? But I mean, what can you do? I mean, have a gun at home. I don't know how you all feel about weapons, but if anybody's coming in, I need to protect my family. I need to protect my family. But let's go ahead and take a look at this, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Oh man. Wow. Wow. Now, who would think of that? That's just criminality. Who would think that they could like use a rubber band and a piece of tape to make sure that the door latch doesn't come back? That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, we got some other people in the building. We got the Matthew W says, I love those automatic door locks. Makes it nice to be paranoid while not at home or not be paranoid. I mean, yeah, that's true. They're nice and convenient, but I mean, hey, you just got to be careful. But welcome to the chat, man. Absolutely, yeah. Welcome. Let's keep looking at this. This stuff is crazy, man. These are just B&Es, man. These are thieves and criminals. They just find or physical pen testers. Yeah, we'll see. See, they have some of these specialized tools, as you can see, right? Let me go back just a little bit. It's just these tools that are kind of designed weird. Like it's kind of like a little boomerang there, right? And they're able to see the type of lock and they're slide it right through. Oh, there we go. There's that tool that I was showing you all before. That's that one where you can slide it right into gaps and be able to hit the crash bar. So that's like a crash bar security control bypasser right there. There it is. There's that crash bar tool right there. Now, how would they know it's a crash bar on the other side of the door? I don't know. They might have had some pictures or something, maybe, but or they might have did some reconnaissance and got in there previously. So who knows how they knew that it was a crash bar on the other side. No, what was that? Whoa, slow down. What did he just do? He opened the door with air? He used air. Or maybe it's like some type of surveillance things. Yeah, burglar tools pretty much. Yeah. You guys hired non-techies to do these things or part. You can be a combination of both. It's so funny because it's almost, I wouldn't say that it's sexist, but many times women make better social engineers than men. And it's almost because of like just kind of bias that men or people have, where women are a bit more, I guess by default, women are more trustworthy than men. So say for instance, a woman is like walking up to you on the outside of a data center and has a lot of stuff in her hands, right? And she's trying to carry it into a building, and she's asking you to hold the door. Would you hold the door for her? Now, say for instance, a dude, right, like myself, sometimes it can even be, race specific or what your pigment looks like. That comes with trust and non-trust. A guy like me coming, hey, can you help me? You're like, do you work here? Do you work here type of thing? So, it's very interesting. So, yeah, so a lot of times it can be tech or non-tech individuals. Yeah, many times non-technical people. But a lot of times it's women. Women are very successful in social engineering. Women are way more successful than men in social engineering. Not to say that there aren't some men that are very successful, but they typically don't look like myself. I'll just say that. Princess says surveillance and recon, inside info, online. Yeah, online pictures. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's probably how they knew, because that looked like some type of ballroom or something within a hotel. So yeah, they probably wouldn't. That's probably how they would know that it's a crash bar on the other side of that door. Wardall said probably triggered yeah, that's probably what it did. It's like a motion detector, because that's on the inside. So that's what it triggered. Yeah. But air, man, that's crazy. Froze the mechanics. Nah. I can hear me. I think this is your first time speaking in the chat. Welcome to the chat. For everybody who's coming in, we just clapping up. Thank you for coming through. What else am I saying? You can do that by sliding a sheet of paper under the door. Okay, I didn't know that either. Listen. I'm recognizing we got some B&E experts here. Okay, I don't know. Some of y'all might. I don't know. Some of y'all might. Hey, I don't know. Some of y'all might do this. I don't know. No, I'm just joking. Facts. Do you work? Yeah. They say, yo, do you work here? Do you work here? Are you supposed to be? I see that your hands are full of things, but like, are you supposed to be here? For a lady, they might just be like, oh, here. Just come on in. Princess said, no, we are. Right. I'm gonna have to get like a little something, like I am skeptical of you all. I'm gonna have to get a GIF or something for that. Do y'all say GIF or anyway? I'm not about to go into that. GIF or GIF, original. Or you all are saying hello. Yeah, man. Nah, I just owned a few pen tests. Listen. Okay, I'm cool. Let's keep watching this. Nobody, listen. You are not under investigation here. Not here. Okay. Wow. Listen, they just showing out now. This guy. What is that? Hookah? Is that hookah? Or you smoking something? And I'm sure, like, you're definitely right about that, Word Dog. That's definitely a motion sensor or a motion detector. Yeah, man. Jeez. Oh, that's my man's. This is a popular cybersecurity guy. I forget his name. He's He's a popular cybersecurity guy. But yeah, he used smoke in order to set off the motion detector to get into that door. That's crazy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Keep it techie. Welcome, man. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming through. Anytime somebody comes, thank you for coming through, man. Thank you for coming through. Princess laughing. Yeah. I actually did a social engineering physical. Oh, okay. For a small bank, I ended up getting the passcode to a server room, one location, the other location. I walked out. Yikes. You walked out with a computer. Sheesh. See, a lot of people can be successful in this. A lot of people can be successful in this. First of Black Ops. Oh, you all are still talking. Wrench, welcome, Wrench. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. And welcome to the building, man. Definitely appreciate you being here. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. We are talking about, for those who are just coming in, we are talking about physical penetration testing and kind of the I guess where physical penetration testing and physical security controls meet cybersecurity, because they need to work hand in hand. I mean, you can put up all of the firewalls and access control lists, all of the security, the technical security standards and controls. But then at the same time, you can have somebody walk right in the front door of your building and gain access to them without ever even having to touch a keyboard. All they had to do was put their shoes on, trick some people, and walk in the front door. Or they can do what these guys were doing, using smoke to set off motion detectors and whatnot. So right now we are talking about the integrations between physical security and cybersecurity and how much they are important. And we were going over some tools. I did a little sharing of some stuff that I saw. So, very interesting stuff. But thank you everybody for coming through. Thank you everybody for coming through. Wardos says good stuff. I'm glad it's sharing this aspect of security. Absolutely, man. Thanks. Listen. Is often overlooked and neglected. Absolutely, 100%. Snuggles, I need a personal greeting, sir. Do you get a personal greeting? I think I had deleted that one that you had before. Let's see. I don't have a personal greeting for you. Let's see. I got this. This one is about struggling. You might like this.
Kind of struggling a little bit.
That one. I got
kind of struggling a little bit.
Yeah. This is the one I'm gonna play like when I'm doing something technical and I'm having some issues or something. I'll be like, all right.
Kind of struggling a little bit.
Because this is struggle security, where we
kind of struggling a little bit
from time to time. But at times we find a lot of success, right? We find a lot of success, and we might come to the point, because I know the last one that we was doing, I was struggling a little bit, and then I came to this
I'm good with that. That's success. That's what we set up.
I had like one thing within TryHack Me that I had got, and then it was successful, so I was pretty happy with that. So that's your greeting there. That's your greeting.
Kind of struggling a little bit,
because it could be like that. From time to time. So but welcome. Thank you for coming through, for sure. Princessa said, I'm about to get into the pool while y'all chat. Absolutely, yeah. I'll just be talking and kind of going through some of this stuff. So feel free to watch the playback, or you can even take a look at some of this stuff as you are. You might have your phone up and then be swimming or something. I don't know. However you want to do it. But thank you for coming through. Especially Wardog says, have you heard of Jason Street? I think I have. That name sounds super duper familiar. Jason Street sounds very familiar. Inform me, because I definitely don't know everything. Deacon Dave said you can steal that one from, but nah, I'm not stealing nothing from over there. But yeah, absolutely. Let's get back into it. And this video is going over pretty much B&Es, or ways that people have been using physical security, pen testing tactics and techniques in order to get into buildings. What you say? To have a phone in the stand so I can watch. Absolutely. I want to do some talking too. So, hopefully it can kind of be podcast-ish, so you don't have to feel like you need to be watching the whole time, for sure. Oh, man, these guys showing out. Uh-oh. What's this? Oh, man. This is taking a whole different turn here now. I don't know. Okay. Oh. Whoa, what? What was that? These tools. And now they got the access to all the Teslas. That's crazy. That is crazy. Crazy. White Dog said he is a guru when it comes to physical security assessments and social engineering. Okay. Had no idea. Maybe we'll take a look at him. Is he on YouTube? He got a YouTube channel? Send me some of that. Princess says she gonna wait to go because she's loving it. She says she's loving it. Listen, I got more. I got some more because it's wild because I kind of started it off and we were talking about how I got this Flipper Zero, right? The Flipper Zero is like this new tool and whatnot that everybody's been talking about, what people are using in order to, I don't know, open Tesla gas compartments and changing light switches and turning on and off lights and I guess emulating different RFID chips and whatnot. So, you know, is this, but there are so many other tools that are out there. And it's so funny because I was just Googling around, and it's like, wow, because Amazon has a whole list, and it's called like his spy list or spy tools. Let me show you all what I'm seeing here. Amazon spy tools. Oh man, we getting people that's coming in the building. Welcome everybody. Let's see who just came through. Hello, folks. Savvy Scientists. Welcome, man. Thank you for coming through. Every time you come in, every time somebody comes in the building, they get a welcome. Let's see. Says they slid a blow up dial underneath a door and inflated it to push open a lever to enter a server room. I believe it. I definitely believe it. Welcome to the chat, by the way. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Maddox, welcome, man. Thank you for coming through. You get one of these. You get one. Yes. Hello. Welcome. And you said, I don't think he has a YouTube channel, but he has several talks on DEF CON. Have to maybe take a look at one of those. Maybe we'll do a part 2 on this. Absolutely, Savage Scientist. Yeah, man, I'm trying to do some new stuff, get some gifts and everything together. Welcome people, make it seem very much so like the live streaming feel. But let's take a look at this because I was Googling around and Amazon has an entire list of what you call spy tools. So let's take a look at some of these. And these spy tools, they're kind of cool. Some of them are just like, you know, voice recording and cameras. But I guess a lot of this stuff can be useful to individuals who have some physical security assessments that they're trying to perform. Okay, so I see one here. They have this one. It's like a voice recorder. That's cool. A voice recorder, digital voice recorder. This one is a hidden device detector. I think this is actually kind of useful to like just anybody. For people who are like staying in Airbnbs and whatnot, that's kind of cool. Or even to be able to detect, I don't know, these other type of tools. So I see those. Spy cameras and camera detector and bug detectors and cameras on pins. I saw some other things that were interesting. These are a lot of like anti-spy tools. Let me see what else. Which ones are you all seeing, or which ones are you all thinking about? Let's see. Sunny Days Entertainment Surveillance Kids Spy Tool. I might get this for my little baby. See if she can she might get to get into some physical security assessment type of work. They got trackers. GPS trackers. These are some spy tools. So I'm just going through these. This is the first time I'm seeing these. I just saw it and was like, let me see what people are thinking about this. You could put the tracker on somebody's vehicle. You can follow them around. Wireless digital. See, now it's getting a little different here. These are more like toys. And yeah, these are like toys. Oh, that's kind of a little bit of a let down. I thought these were gonna be cool. A USB endoscope to OTG Android phone computer. What's an endoscope? What is this? Let's see what this is. An endoscope. Please, please, please don't be something that I don't want it to be. I'm a Google on the side. Endoscope is a procedure used in medicine to look at. Oh my gosh! Listen, I knew it was something. I knew it was something I didn't want to know. It's used to inspect inside of people's bodies. We'll just go ahead and just back away from that little by little. So I guess a lot of what people think of spying tools are pretty much camera and spy tool detectors and wireless cameras. What else they got? What is this? Flashlight. All right. Flashlight gloves. Really? Where the cool stuff at? Amazon don't sell no cool spy stuff. A drone. I guess it's a camera. Jeez. A recovery stick. You know what? Another one that I saw. I thought this one was kind of interesting. Amazon has this. Here, let me show you this. And I guess this is just kind of just like if you want to be evil to people, this is what this is. I saw this tool. This is, here, let me show you all. Let me zoom this in a little bit more. This tool is used to destroy hard drives and erase it. Erase hard drives completely. It says destruct hard drive data eraser by Lovell. Permanently erase computer data. Military grade HDD erase tool, non-recoverable data once erased. All PCs and laptops compatible. They're making it compatible for everything. Anybody can get it. Easy to use, and it's USB. And it's less than $30. And it can be here tomorrow. Sheesh. Take a look at this. Oh, you guys are talking. Yes, I saw Amazon had put that. Plus, there are other websites dedicated to spy gadgets. Okay, if you know one of those websites, man, we could take a look at it. I know that Hack5 has a lot of cybersecurity tools, and they can be considered like some of that physical security stuff. But let me know. Throw it in the chat, and we can take a look at it. WireDog says some CIA stuff. I thought it was at first, but I don't know. That list was kind of mid. That list wasn't too impressive. Yeah, there are some great talks about physical security at DEF CON. Absolutely. I'm sure there are. I think it lets you see inside rooms, slide it under the door or something. Yeah, probably. No. That's not what an endoscope is. If you talk about an endoscope, you slide that into some bodies. I'm just gonna leave that there. It's not laugh a lot to use in medicine, but also do recon. Okay, listen, that's what I'm saying. We're just gonna back away from that. I always wanted a flipper, but the price always derailed me. Let me tell you, man, it's so funny because I had contributed to the I told them this before. I had contributed to like the Kickstarter for the Flipper Zero. So I got a black one and I got a white one. And let me tell you, I gave a white one. When did I get that thing away? I gave it away back in December. I sent it to my coworker because he's also like, we also do like security assessments and pen tests and everything and red team and stuff. So I'm like, oh yeah, he'll love this. So I sent it to him. Man, I had 2 of these things and I sent it to him for free. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need that back. I'm gonna need that. No. But I sent it to him and I didn't even know its worth and its value because even now, I think you can get one online now, but it'll be for inflated price. So I got 2 of these for like $250, $260 because I had I was like one of the early contributor to that Kickstarter program. But this thing, man, you could just completely destroy everything. You can use it to cover your trail. What you mean? Oh, yes, for the destructor. Sorry, I'd be behind on the chat from time to time. But yeah, you can definitely use this to cover your trail. So say for instance, because one thing that's very popular, like in pen testing and red teaming, is that you want to cover your tracks. You don't want people to understand what you just did. So rather than actually going and doing something for real, like where you're covering your tracks, you can just say, yeah, let's just kill the whole computer. I got everything that I wanted. Let's just kill the whole hard drives. Reminds me of USB killer. I bet you there are a whole bunch of programs that kill US or that kill computers. So this is another one. Is this a tool or is this just a program or something? Everybody saying what's up. I remember Jason Street talk on DEF CON years ago, something about steal everything. I bet it is. What's up, fam? Everybody saying hello. Everybody saying hello. Chilling. Everybody talking, saying hello. Happy you all can interact. That was an awesome talk. Absolutely. So yeah, this thing, I mean, it just permanently deletes everything. I mean, it looked like you just plug it in. That's that. I don't even think you have to press anything. Okay, let's see. The instructions: turn your computer off. Insert destruct into the USB port of a computer. Power on the computer. When PC screen turns on, immediately press the indicated key to select boot device. Oh, you got to boot this thing. Okay, you have to boot. I got you. Select boot from USB. Destruct will load. You can follow the on-screen instructions to erase the hard. Okay, so it's a prompt. So it instructs you on how to do it because you pretty much are going through the boot process. You're directing it to utilize the USB for the boot process, and then you follow the prompt. Okay, I thought you just plug this thing in and that was that. But yeah, man, this is that. So this can be considered, you're destroying stuff rather than shooting up stuff, right? Rather than getting a blicky and shooting up a computer, right? You don't have to do that, or you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this here with the hammer and everything. You could just take this, insert this into the USB port, and that's that. And that is that. I did want to go over WireDog's article that he sent. Let me go ahead and copy. Can I copy and paste? Oh man, do I have to scroll up to get it? Let me scroll up to get this link. I know you posted it. Or is it too far up? Nope, I can get it here. How do I get this link? Can I copy it? No. It start. Maybe I just go on my YouTube. I'll go on my YouTube, and then I'll go to my live stream. I know I can hear the audio, but I'll go on my live stream. Let's see. WireDog, can you post it again? Because I cannot get that article. Or can somebody post it? Can somebody post that? Let's go to Coalfire then. Is this the one? Okay, yes. Let's look at this. I got it already. Thank you for giving this article. So WireDog just sent me this article, and this is about pen testing, and this is about the get out of jail free card, right? This is what we were talking about earlier. Is that you need permission to do this type of stuff. You can't just go and test people's physical security boundaries. You can't just get into data centers. You can't just, jump into employee-only areas. So Coalfire, I know that's a security organization. So let's see what they're talking about here. Charges dismissed against Coalfire employees. So apparently Coalfire has a service where they do physical pen tests or physical penetration testing. So let's see, solutions, penetration testing. Let's see. They do something. They do a lot of services, look like. Okay. Let's look at this. This says, well, let's do this. Let's move me out the way. I'm not that important right now, right? Okay. Let's take a look at this so you all can see it. And I can read it for y'all. It says, Coalfire, provider of cybersecurity advisory and assessment services, today announced that 2 of its employees were arrested while conducting a standard penetration test to protect Iowa citizens from cybercrime have been exonerated following the discussions between. Imagine going into work, real quick. Imagine going into work and you're like, okay, I'm here to help some people. I'm here to do some things. I'm going into work. And you wind up in the county jail, the county holding facility. That's crazy. Following discussions between representatives of Coalfire, the Dallas County Sheriff, and Dallas County Attorney, it was a decision at the county attorney to dismiss trespassing charges against the Coalfire employee. So you up here thinking that you're doing great. You up here like, yeah, I'm successful on this pen test. I'm successful on the physical penetration test, but you got charges. You locked up. It is clear It is clear that on September of 2019, it was an intention of Dallas County Sheriff to protect the citizens of Dallas County and state of Iowa, ensuring integrity, blah, blah, blah. It was intention, whatever. Ultimately, the long-term interest of justice and protection, got a lot of words here. Tell me what happened. We are pleased that all charges are dropped in the Iowa incident, said Cold Flyer CEO. Then the CEO had to step in. That's crazy. That's crazy. The arrest raised national awareness on the quiet war being waged against cybercrime and the critical role red team penetration testing plays in defending the integrity of public and private sector commerce. So, and that's, I think, the major thing about this is that really these physical penetration tests are helping to protect people, right? When good guys find vulnerabilities, when good guys find the holes and the exploits within systems and physical security controls, that helps people become more protected in the future, right? Because it's like, if a bad guy finds it, a bad guy might possibly have malicious intent in mind. But if a good guy finds it, right, the company is able to cover up those holes there. So for sure. Thank you for providing this. Some other people just dropped in. You got to go and sign a letter of permission. See, and that's the thing. I think they did have this letter, this permission. I just think that, man, they might have had some very motivated officials that was like, yo, gotta lock these guys up, because typically you do. But we're gonna look at the debrief to understand what those details are. We're gonna take a look at that. Clyde, welcome. Listen, anytime somebody comes in here, clap it up. Thank you for coming through. You said, hey, heard the podcast on the story of the two guys that got a, yeah, absolutely. So, it's a podcast for it. Shoot, drop the podcast so everybody can go ahead and take a look at that, right? So drop the podcast if you have a chance. Are you a mod here? Are you a mod? I think you are. JM, hold up. Let me mod up all my people that always come over here. Hold up. Wait, I got to go into my Struggle Security account. I got to mod people up so you all can drop links. So because you all have been work. So I definitely appreciate everybody from being here. Game over, of course. Let me mod you up, make you a moderator. Let's see. Add a what's the difference? Oh, wow. They have a managing moderator and a standard moderator. Okay. I just mod you up regularly because I don't know the difference. Darknet Diaries. Hemi said it's on Darknet Diaries. Got to get you a mod. And Clyde. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. Make you a moderator as well. Is there anybody else in here that I know that comes all the time? Maddox, definitely got to make you a moderator as well. I think we got everybody. If I did not mod you up, let me know. Okay. Let's see. You said the podcast. Okay, the podcast was on Darknet Diaries, and that's a great podcast for anybody that's interested in cybersecurity, new to cybersecurity, long time been in cybersecurity. Darknet Diaries is an amazing, and they even have a YouTube channel now, and the YouTube channel doing numbers. It's a great YouTube channel and podcast. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, they got it. So that's a great one. Darknet Diaries, Lowcast, USB drive boot into a low-level formatting. What? Let's see. USB drive boot into a low-level formatting software that may take hours to complete. I bet it doesn't. I bet it's a quick process. I don't know how long it takes. You could be right, but I bet it doesn't take long at all to kill that hard drive. I bet it doesn't take long. Wardex says, salute to everyone. Be sure to hit the like. Thank you. Absolutely. Hit the like button. Hemi, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Welcome. Let's see who else is here. Game over. You said great content, man. Happy you can be here. Clap it up for you. Thank you for coming through. Who else? I'm just catching up on the chat, and then we'll get back to the article. Does that mean that the company's cybersecurity policy worked? Maybe. I don't know. If somebody, we're gonna look at the debrief of what they said actually happened. We're gonna look at the debrief because it might be interesting. How it happened. I heard about that case. Falau, you heard about? Okay. Lowcast. We know sometimes you could be a sketchy character. Okay. Locas, I still got my eye on you. I remember that time that it was probably 4-5 streams ago. You were giving us all types of hacking advice. You know, a lot of times people give hacking advice that aren't security practitioners. They might have been doing some of that activity. I'm just saying. Keep it Techie says since they got caught. I mean, yeah, they could be. They could be. Those policies might have worked. Yeah. Somebody might have called the police, but we'll take a look at it a little bit more in depth. I'm just catching up here. They did have a letter. The sheriff wasn't pleasant, to say the least. That's exactly what I'm telling you. I mean, that's exactly what I thought. Like, they might have some very motivated officials that want to arrest people. I don't know. Dark Knight Diaries podcast. Absolutely, Maddox. Finally, absolutely, man. Anytime, man. Clay says, nah. It seemed mostly like the sheriff has some sort of issue, but the other police were cool with what they said about what they're doing in the physical pen tests. Okay. Because sometimes, and that's another reason why I want to talk about this, because sometimes we can be ignorant of this one, right? So I think that just as many people who are not within cybersecurity, they can be ignorant of what a physical security pen test is. I bet you that sheriff was also ignorant of what it was too. He probably thought they were just making something up. He's like, they're not about to get past me. All of my years of experience, they think they can get into here, right? So I think because it's new, the idea of what a physical security pen test is new. That probably greater motivated the sheriff to take more action than what was necessary. Yeah, the Dark Knight Diary says it showed Jack Reiser. Yep. Take Locas Rich. Just went. No, Locas cool. Locas cool over here. Everybody welcome over here, mostly. People who are not welcome over here, they know that they are not welcome over here, and they don't say anything in the chat. So that's actually how we like to keep it. Absolutely. Maddox said 22 passes take some time. 22 passes. What does that mean? 22 passes. That's what happened during this. Let me take a look. Pedro IT, welcome to the chat, man. Welcome to the chat. Welcome. Okay, let's see. Keep it techie. We're saying some stuff. Everybody's talking, man. Gonzo, where you at, Gonzo? I know you be here all the time, Gonzo. Where are you at? Let me refresh this. It's so much. Streaming is involved, man. Streaming, it's a lot involved here within streaming. It's a lot involved. You got to do this thing and that thing and this thing over here, go to that account and this account. Hopefully I'm keeping you all engaged. Princess said, I have enjoyed this conversation. You know, I love the tech talk. We got to go to work. Got you. I don't want to keep you for too long. I know you got to go to work. I know you was hitting the pool and everything. I'm happy that I can be in your earways and everybody's earways during this time, and happy you all are enjoying the content for sure. Thank you all for coming through. Deacon Dave, what is that? It's an emoji. Is your mouth covered? What happened? They broke into a court. All right. I got to get into the article. The motivated officials just wanted to bust them and get their family arrested. I believe it. Even if you have a letter, you should have a site. I absolutely 100% agree with that. You having a site contact, some type of number, somebody for people to call, and for them to know that, hey, they're performing this, and that in the event somebody calls me, I need to be able to pick up and verify the actions that they're taking. That's very important. Yeah, they want to be famous. The motivated officials just wanted credit and fame for arresting the hackers. Okay. Like say, hey, Techie, put on a good video today. Yeah, keep it Techie also. Yeah, he threw out a good video on like Clyde has mentioned, Tails OS. It's like a privacy operating system, privacy Linux operating system. So take a look at that from his channel. And you said that you are here and welcome. Like I said, did I clap it up? Even if I forgot, let's clap it up. Okay, thank you for coming through. Let's read more of this to kind of get some more. It seems like y'all already know what happened, and I'm just late to the party, but it's cool. It's cool because we're gonna get into it. So this is the debrief. Look at them. Sheesh. They do not look like happy campers, do they? It says Brian Krebs interviews our pen testing team about their Iowa experience. For the first time, Gary De Mercurio and Justin Wynn discussed their arrest while conducting a physical penetration test in Iowa. They're joined by CEO Brian Tom McAndrew and Brian Krebs to highlight the impact of the community. Let's take a look at this really quickly. Maybe they'll just talk about it a little bit. Let me know if you all can hear this. I don't know. Let me know if you all can hear this. It's not playing yet.
Well, my name is Brian Krebs. I think you guys probably
Can you all hear that?
already know that. But if you would, just for the record, just go ahead and state your names and tell me what you do for Coal Fire.
Can you all hear that? Let me know. Where's my phone at? Because y'all not saying nothing. Hold on 1 second. Let me play this.
For the record, just go ahead and state
Yep.
your names.
You all should be able to hear it. Because I know I can hear it. Okay. Let's play it just a little bit.
Sure. I'm Tom McAndrew, and I'm Coal Fire CEO.
Gary DiMacario. I'm a managing senior here at Bellevue.
I'm Justin Wynn. I'm a senior security consultant with Coal Fire.
Excellent. Well, thank you all for agreeing to talk with me about this whole thing. It's generated.
Let's push it forward a little bit. Let's see what they talk about with their experience. I like to skip forward. I ain't about to listen to everything.
They weren't able to come in the way you had come in, or they weren't able to get into the building, or what was that about?
They weren't able to get in at all. I think they were having a problem with their with the code or the cards, whatever the method is that they're able to get into the building. Whether that was an administrative problem or not, I don't really know, to be honest.
Can you talk about how you got in?
See how they go.
Well, maybe rather than this specific say, I'd say, I mean, we've read the report, right? So if you look at it, every time we do these red team tests, you always find, areas or aha moments or gotcha that people should have fixed. And I think we're waiting on that because we're not sure who knows this and whether those issues have been fixed. So we don't want to lower their security saying, hey, we got in this way. It's like a physical 0 day, I guess. Mm-hmm. Right. So we don't want to
That's a very interesting point. Craig's trying to put them on front, like, yo, how y'all get in? But that's one thing that's very important about pen tests, red teaming, any type of offensive security type of assessments or practices. One thing that you don't want to do is ever put out who the organization is that you tested against and what those vulnerabilities were that you found. Because you put that information out, you never know whose hands that could get into. Because one thing about it is that, just like he said, we don't know if they fix those security standards. Or those security vulnerabilities. We don't know if they patch those things up. So you want to be very careful about the information that you put out there, right? A lot of this stuff that I'm talking about is educational, and you all don't even know these organizations or anything that I've done within certain organizations, but they know that this is infrastructure within Iowa. They know what this is. So if they said how they got in and they didn't patch any of those vulnerabilities or deal with any of those physical security controls, then they could put that company out there or that organization out there to be very vulnerable. Okay, everybody can hear. Okay, cool. Said it sounds good. Your wire dog is agreeing, so I know it's right. Yep.
want to do. I would say that it's not, some initial media reports made it sound like, we've got James Bond high device tools. And I'd say you would be underwhelmed at the methods that were used to gain access to different sorts of facilities there. And that's not unique, right? I mean, we see this all the time. And part of the reasons why we're brought in to do this is typically you have dilapidated systems and outdated security systems, and physical buildings is not where a lot of states and counties are investing their dollars. And so these tests help alert people saying, yes, while you're doing some of the cybersecurity side, if you've got vaults full of data or you've got physical risks, they're just as bad, if not more so. So that was something that we did find.
So that's interesting too. One thing that they're saying is that, hey, what we did to get into these facilities and these organizations was not very advanced. It wasn't something very unique, but rather very common and very simple. Even that we saw that video earlier, they got little tools and whatnot that they can use in order to bypass and get past doors. Even what I showed you all before, here, let me see if I still have that up. When I did one of my physical security tests or physical security pen tests, this is what I used in order to display that I could get in. So this was a crash bar for those who are just joining the stream. I showed this earlier. This is a crash bar. This is towards the inside of the gate. And that's my belt that I took off, and I showed them that I could be on the other side of the gate and string my belt through these holes and be able to utilize that to get inside of this gate. So it's not very sophisticated. It's not very unique. It's not, like you said, it's not this James Bond thing, but it's very simple. It's very simple things that people can do in order to get inside of buildings, inside of systems, and really bypass physical security controls for organizations. Professor Blackhouse, what is this? Wi-Fi attacking with drones. Yeah, we'll take a look at that right after. So we'll take a look at this one, then we'll take a look at Professor Black Ops, and then I think that'll be good. That'll be good for us to close out. I think that would be good. Let's see here. No, that's not what I want to look at. This one. No, that is me talking. What am I trying to look at? This one. Perfect. I'm going to start at comment, Professor Black Ops. Oh, why did I say put a one? This thing is still scrolling at the bottom. That doesn't need to scroll. Okay, let's keep going with this. So we understand it wasn't very sophisticated what they did in order to get into these environments. Let's play some more.
Find here, and I think another thing, Brian, since you're not familiar with the contract, as we go through it, we specifically ask the customer like what buildings to test. And so two things were kind of unique in this, right? Is that usually when a customer says, here's the buildings and you confirm them, we assume those are the buildings. And if you're doing a test for the state and you walk into a building and it's a courthouse and you're doing work for the court system, you think that they would have jurisdiction or own it. And that turned out not to be the case in this scenario.
Oh, wow. Did you hear that? That's another thing that occurs for pen tests or red teams. They give us scope, right? They give rules of engagement and a scope for what you test. So many times for just like a regular cybersecurity pen test, whether it's an internal pen test or whether it's like black box or something, you're coming in for Wi-Fi, you would receive a list of subdomains. You would receive IP addresses. I don't know if you all were there for the one where I was hacking at night and I was doing like the Hacker One challenge. They just gave different domains to say these are in scope for testing. One thing that they're talking about is what's in scope for the physical pen test. So buildings, doors, access points, ingress and egress access points for those buildings and those systems. So they're talking about what the rules of engagements were, and they had a miscommunication. It seemed like there was a miscommunication as it concerns what the scope was for the testing. We're going to take a look at a little bit more of this, and then we'll go to Professor Black Ops, and then we'll close out.
Because there are some things that the state owns and some things that the county owns, and that was something that we weren't aware of as we did some of this work or didn't understand the nuances. And then two, in our statement of work, we specifically have the client make a determination of whether they want to notify law enforcement or not. And so that's something that we specifically bring up, and they specifically said no. And so that's another area that as we work for the customers, and these are kind of the lessons learned of, how do you validate that the buildings they say you can test, and when they say, we will notify law enforcement, or law enforcement will not be notified, and we'll kind of manage those processes. Do we allow them to do that?
Yeah.
And it's different from a state versus a commercial organization, but those are two kind of unique factors in this case.
And make things even more murky or cloudy, if you will, with this scenario, is there was a third-party investigation that was launched by the state, and the lawyer at the time, or I should say at the end of the investigation, his conclusion was the state did have authority. Again, his interpretation of the law, but that interpretation of the law was the state did have authority to allow us to go into that building. So it's all based on legal, or the lack of legal precedent, actually, because it's one of those times that it's something that was very unique that just doesn't happen.
It's looking real murky, right? That's very murky, right? Who has authority? Who's actually hiring them to do the work? Do they have authority to give them the ability to test certain things? And it's all about ownership. Who is giving them permission, and do they have the correct permissions in order to tell them that they could test the vulnerabilities within that system? That's where the law really comes in, because nobody can give permission to test something that doesn't belong to them, or they don't have the authority to give that permission. So it's crazy. Let's do a little bit more of this. Clyde says, yeah, now that I'm hearing this again with the guys, I'd ask the person to put a thumbprint down on the page. You say, I want all Listen, you said put the thumbprint. I need your birth certificate, your social security number, put everything down as proof that you are the right person to give the right authority. It says those two guys did get caught up in a spot for some time before it was technically settled. That's crazy. Let's do a little bit more of this, and then we'll go over to the other link.
Just to be clear, you were hired by the county or by the state?
The state.
By the state.
Yeah. So if you think about like the state, right, owns the contract and they have courthouses all throughout the state, right? And so as part of this, we go to different courthouses. Some of them they own, like in the Capitol, in these other areas, like in this place, Dallas County. We assume that they had it or they had the right, and that's where there's some ambiguity in the law of are they, you know, basically renting back those services? Does the state have the authority to launch a physical security test of a county courthouse? That basically was kind of the question that is not well understood now.
Wow.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. But so coming back to the scene, you're there. You trip the alarms. Was this the beginning of that particular pen test at that location, or was it toward the end? Or could you describe, just without getting into details you can't talk about, obviously, some of the things some of the other things you might have done while you're there?
So yeah, we had come on site prior to that location, done our initial assessment during the day while the courthouse is open, to be able to walk through and kind of see what we're dealing with, and kind of get an attack plan for later that night. So after we had arrived that night and set off the alarms, the response from law enforcement was very expeditious. Arrived on scene very quickly. So it's pretty much, we had gained access to the facility. The alarms were already going off. We sat in there and waited for, it must have been between 3 or 5 minutes before law enforcement showed up. After that point, we announced that we were there, slowly came outside the building, asked them, being very slow moving and showing our hands, hey, do you want us to open this door? Since obviously they were having difficulties gaining access. At which point he responded yes. So we exit the facility and then start working with law enforcement to verify our presence. So that includes some things like presenting our get out of jail free letter. The responding officers actually reached out and they contacted our points of contact from the client and verified that we were supposed to be on site there.
Wait, so they got verified. They had the get out of jail free card. They had point of contacts that the law enforcement called, but they still ended up locked up. They still ended up locked up, which is crazy. So, don't want to get into all of those details, but we can take a look at that here. Let me see if I can find the Darknet Diaries physical pen test. I could probably find that episode somewhere. John and Brian's Big Adventure. Is this John and Brian? I think this is them. Red Teamers Security Help Organizations. Is this them? I think it is. Observation. Let me see. Iowa. If you all know the particular episode, feel free to throw it down there in the chat. So the dog, yeah, it's definitely all like a dog and pony show for sure. The worst part about that, they had charges, against them on their record, so they couldn't even get pen testing job. Really? Okay, man, I gotta listen to the Darknet Diaries. You might have to do a part 2 on this one. We might have to do a part 2 on this one. But yeah, Professor Black Ops. Let's take a look at the one that you gave me, and it was something about drones. Let's take a look at this. It's about drones being used. Let's see. Let's see what you threw at us. If you all know that Darknet Diaries episode, actually, let me do this. I'm gonna put that Coalfire one, that Coalfire link here within the chat again, so you all can have that, and then maybe you can follow it up with the Darknet Diaries episode whenever you get a chance. Take a look at this. Professor Blackout sent me this. I have not read this. I don't know. Could be something crazy. Let's see what this is. U.S. financial services company targeted by hackers using DJI drones. Unknown threat actors spent as much as $15,000 to carry out a single cybersecurity attack using a Wi-Fi pineapple and other pen test tools mounted to a DJI drone. So they're using drones and hacking tools in order to gain access into environments. That's wild. That is wild. Unknown threat actors spent $15,000 to carry out a single cyber attack using a Wi-Fi pineapple and other pen test tools mounted on a drone. Security researchers Greg Lenars described the attack in a Twitter thread last week, counting it as the third real-world drone-based attack he encountered in the last 2 years. Let's go to that Twitter. I saw that Twitter post. Let me go ahead and share it here. And for those who are looking for it, the Darknet Diaries episode, WireDog put it there. I think I think Lowcast put it there as okay. They both put it there. So if you guys looking for that Darknet Diaries episode, Lowcast and WireDog have put that episode there. It's episode 59. So take a look at that if you guys want to hear more about the details of that. Yeah, Gonzo said that's wild. I guess there is no such thing as a get out of jail free card. Apparently not. Especially if you're walking away from a physical pen test with a record. You're walking away with a record. Sheesh. Yeah, no thank you. No thank you. I'd rather be safely employed rather than having a record like that. First back, I thought it was unique. I need to start checking the roof and webcams for drones. Now you got to check for drones. This is the Twitter feed that goes over what actually happened. Greg Lenars talks about it. We'll look at a little bit of this here. He says here that we will be discussing a real-world breach involving drone delivery exploit system that occurred this summer. Some details I am not able to discuss. However, for the blue teams and red teams out there, I hope to provide good information. Well, he talks about the backing of it. He says during the incident response, they discovered that the users whose MAC address was used to gain partial access to the Wi-Fi was also logged in from their home several miles away. Okay, we have some MAC spoofing. The team deployed embedded Wi-Fi signal tracing and a Fluke system to identify the Wi-Fi devices. Fluke is a manufacturer. I use it a lot with it when I was in undergrad. A lot in undergrad, we had Fluke multimeters, but Fluke also have these Wi-Fi tracking or Wi-Fi discovery tools. We used to use them at the nuclear plant. We used to have like these Wi-Fi signal trackers to try to find rogue wireless access points within like the nuclear plant environment. So we would have like a walk down event every single, I think once a month or every couple of weeks or something. So that's what this was doing, the Fluke system to identify the Wi-Fi devices. So they had all this stuff mounted on top of a drone. That's crazy. This led the team to the roof where a modified DJI Matic 600 and a modified DJI Phantom series were discovered. The Phantom was carrying a modified Wi-Fi pineapple device. It appeared to neatly land it and was not damaged. I mean, just think about that, right? And that directly goes hand in hand with what we're talking about here. It's bypassing physical security controls in order to get into environments. In many environments, even that oil and gas plant, that oil and gas plant that I was at, all they had were gates. So if you took a drone and flew that right over those gates and landed it on top of one of the buildings, and you had these tools mounted on top of them, yeah, you could have definitely caused some damage there. You could have tried to hack into the Wi-Fi system, right? And get into that. And it's so interesting because when I was doing another pen test, you talk about Wi-Fi, we were at a plant environment and they had like just weak wireless encryption protocols. Like I think they were using just like WEP or something. And we actually had an app on our phones that was able to find like the wireless that they were using, and if we were able to bypass the security measures. So, these people use way more. They use the drone, they use Fluke Wi-Fi devices and the wireless pineapple in order to hack those systems. I think that's super duper interesting. So again, another lesson in bypassing physical security controls. Don't want to go into so much detail about it, but I thank you all for being here. I think we did something here. I would call this success. I would definitely call this success today.
I'm good with that. That's success. That's what we set out to do.
That's good. I'm happy we did this today. For just a small recap for those who are watching the playback, we went over what physical security was, its integration with cybersecurity, and even how physical security isn't a very common thing that we talked about. I gave several examples of when I've done different physical security tests, things like using a belt to bypass a crash bar, physical security control, or even looking at Ethernet and RJ45 ports that are just open within environments, within enterprise places. We even talked about some bypassing techniques for different security controls like NAC, network access control. You can take and mimic an IP phone's address and on your own machine, and then you can plug into that same port, bypassing NAC, bypassing some physical security controls to utilize those RJ45 ports. We also went into some of the examples where we saw there on Amazon that they had spy tools. It was a bit underwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. It was a bit underwhelming about Amazon's list of hacking tools. They weren't really, they were just cameras and Wi-Fi or hacking tool descriptors or hacking tool examples. It was pretty cool, but we were getting into some other examples, and then we rounded it all off for the article that WireDog had told us about the physical security pen testers who were actually got a record as a result of them doing their job. They were able to bypass security controls, but they even had the right permissions. They had the right to get out of jail free card, but they still had an over aggressive or a highly motivated law official who just wanted to kind of lock them up. So we went over a lot today. So if you're watching the playback, you got a lot to catch up on. We went over physical security, hacking tools, and all of that, and we had a good time. Thank you all for being here. This is the Struggle Security YouTube channel, where we are normalizing struggling in cybersecurity. I'm seeing people saying 10 Hut, absolutely. Look forward to part 2, absolutely. We'll try to do that. You said great stream. Thank you. That's good motivation. Another great stream, another struggle stream. Absolutely, as always, Zone. Thank you for coming there at the end. And thank you all for being here, where, again, this is Struggle Security, where we are normalizing struggling in cybersecurity. Hopefully this has alleviated one of your struggles, where physical security and physical security pen testing is something that's makes a bit more sense to you and how that integrates with cybersecurity. Thank you all for being here. As Gonzo said, take care, and thank you for the motivation to say that this is a great stream. Thank you for the feedback. Appreciate it, and I'll see you all next time. Maybe I'll be here tomorrow. I might take a day off, or I might be here tomorrow around 4 or so Eastern. We'll see what happens. But thank you all for being here again, and I will see you all later. Peace.